Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of a replay between Loner and NEXGenius here on Scrap Station. Gonna be what's already a great game so far. NEXGenius now getting that critical number of Colossi and High Templar to try to counter the Vikings, Marauders, Marines, and Medivacs. So those Vikings will be able to deal a lot of damage towards those Colossi. However, those High Templars, 5 High Templars already in play, all of them with a lot of energy, will be able to Psystorm here. And I am not looking forward to this fight. I am a Terran player, so I guess I'm a little biased, but I think all of these Marines and Marauders will get taken down in just a second. Go ahead and get this started once again. In comes this fight here. Marines stimming, and now down goes a lot of those Marines and Marauders trying to pull back here, using that Guardian Shield very, very effectively, and another Psystorm coming in. And now the army of Loner just trying to counterattack here. Another Psystorm should be coming in just a second. There we go. All that damage being dealt. The Colossi was taken down. However, all these Marauders and Marines are very low on hit points. Another Psystorm coming in and just forcing constant retreats. However, not enough energy for any more Psystorm, and now down goes 2 more High Templar. However, more Zealots and High Templars trying to come back into play. High Templars do move very slowly, and I accidentally hit B, so my apologies there. Yeah, now as this fight just goes back and forth, yeah, there we go. A couple more of these High Templars getting shot down there. Another Psystorm gonna come in just a second. Wait, no, not. There we go, and not gonna happen. So we do have, what, 2 Medivacs now in the air. Army size, you see a Loner at 2,000 minerals, and NEXGenius at 1925. However, the gas difference is just absolutely huge. You can see NEXGenius sitting on 1350, and taking a look at the production tab, another Colossi being trained, and finally Loner going for Ghost. Will those Ghosts be able to be built in time? Loner is very, very safe right now with 1 Planetary Fortress here. That Planetary Fortress dealing 40 damage and also doing a little bit of splash damage to protect itself from any Zealots. Also has a base of 3 armor, so Zealots deal very little damage. Even Colossi are only able to deal 28 damage per attack. So out moves NEXGenius. NEXGenius having what, 2 Colossi, a lot of Stalkers and Zealots moving out once again. Will they be able to do anything here? Those Colossi do have a range of 9, so we'll be able to attack from a distance, and in comes a Psystorm, and now dealing a lot of damage across those units here. If he's constantly able to just get a lot of those Psystorms down, that will be a very, very difficult situation for Loner. Just because Loner does not want to try to walk into an army that has Psystorms and Colossi. Those Colossi wanting to just try to pick off this Planetary Fortress from a very, very far distance. We can see both armies fairly even still. However, the gas of NEXGenius with all of those High Templars is just an equalizing factor in this fight. And now in comes this Stim now coming in as well. Feedback across some of those Medivacs and more of those Colossi trying to come in. No Psystorm. I do not know where any of those High Templars are as these fights go back and forth. Marines and Marauders Stim now trying to pick off more and more units. We do see 1 Archon here, and that Archon finally pulling back, and more High Templars trying to be warped in as well. So 2 High Templars warping in alongside a couple Zealots. And now the ability for a High Templar to warp in with 75 energy, just absolutely critical in this fight. Zealots and Marauders once again going to engage. Taking a look at the production tab, level 2 weapons upgrade, another Colossi. Just trying to make sure that no one gets off any real attacks. And now this 1 Ghost with 91 energy, will he be able to get that EMP shockwave off onto all these units, or more critically onto those High Templars? Both sides, Loner wants to be able to get off 2 EMP shockwaves most likely. I do not see any additional training of any more Ghosts, so that's gonna be a problem. And now we do have 1 Banshee in the air currently cloaked, and that Banshee may be able to start dealing damage towards these High Templars here. And if he's able to pick off these High Templars, that would be absolutely critical. 1 High Templar already down. However, an Observer coming into play, and down it goes. So both sides even still on army. Level 2 weapons upgrade nearing completion. More High Templars warping in, and I think as soon as level 2 weapons upgrade is researched, the army is just going to completely change. Oh, a very nice feedback across a Ghost there, unable to get it, and now 1 very, very silly High Templar walking straight into the Ibicus cannons of that Planetary Fortress and taking 40 damage, and down it goes. So back over here, we do see more kiting of units, more Zealots coming in. So NEXGenius just getting Zealots and High Templars trying to just push back and forth, and now another Guardian Shield being used very, very well, and now picking off more units. So Loner just trying to constantly stim, and now able to deal more damage across more Archons. Force fields making it difficult to try to do any additional chasing, and now Vikings. So Loner doing a great job. However, with this expansion down over here, NEXGenius should be mining, yes, at a higher rate. So all NEXGenius needs to do is just put pressure. He does not really need to engage. as he is getting more and more minerals per minute in this fight. Taking a look at the losses, you can see that Loner also has more losses as well, so this is not looking good. And now more Colossi being trained up as well. There is also a lot of chrono boost as the Zealots and those Colossi now have that level 2 weapons upgrade, and now simply able to slice through and deal so much damage. Vikings now trying to come in to engage as well. In come and some EMP shockwaves dealing a lot of damage across the shields, and now in comes some Psystorm as well. So Psystorm pulling back only 2 or 3 medevacs in the air, and all those medevacs are very low on energy. These Marauders and Marines trying to make their way over here. There are 2 photon cannons. These Marauders should be able to take down these units very, very quickly here, trying to just take down all of these photon cannons. However, the main fight over here, as Colossi, Stalkers trying to push in and engage, is going to look very, very bad. Planetary Fortress trying to fight, repairing this Planetary Fortress. However, all the SCVs taking so much damage off of that Psystorm, and down goes that one Planetary Fortress. More Psystorm coming in. And wow, with that critical mass of Colossi and High Templars, the army of Loner just simply getting taken down so easily here. More Marauders and Marines trying to come in and engage over here, but Loner unable to hold on to this expansion, says GG. It was a 1 expansion trade for a 1 expansion trade, but he knew that based upon the number of workers that he had lost, 24 harvesters compared to 56, he was unable to get back into this game. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in this first set between Loner and NEXGenius here on Scrap Station. Stay tuned for game 2.